topic is so close to my heart, and it's one of the key parts of Reignite, my program which helps busy mums in their 40s lose weight sustainably and keep it off. It is one of the most important parts because compared to other diets, where if you fall off track or you break the rules, then you've ruined everything and you're never going to get to where you want to be. In Reignite, because it's built for mums, we know that your life is unpredictable and there are going to be weeks that it's going to be more challenging for you to carry out the things that you need to do in order to get the weight loss results that you want, and that is okay. It's actually about how you respond to those weeks that really count in the long term and in actually getting your ideal body and maintaining it as well. But we're also looking at things like your health, your longevity as you get older, how you're navigating perimenopause. It's not just the aesthetic, get in shape, although we all want that. We all want to look in the mirror and be like, boom, yes, there she is. Okay, so what I want to talk to you today about is how to stay on track when you're having more challenging weeks, or when you've had a big weekend and you think you've blown everything and you're like, what is the point? Okay, because actually those moments and how you deal with them determines your success. And this is an area we really help our clients with in Reignite, and it's so freeing when I teach my clients that if they have had a week that has been not as on point as they might have liked it to be, it's okay. Okay, of course we need to be honest with ourselves in the long run and be like, are we doing enough to move the needle over time? And this is why sometimes I always say, like, taking a longer approach to getting into the shape that you want is actually a better mindset to be in. Now, we're not saying to take absolutely ages, although if you want to, that's absolutely fine. But compared to quick fixes where, say you do a 4 or 6 week challenge, they're like, lose as much weight as you possibly can. Maybe you're cutting out carbs or you're cutting out fat, or you're sticking to a really low calorie amount. It's just not sustainable because, in the weeks that you can stick to it, life's good, life's easy. Like, you're like, woohoo, I'm winning, this is so great. But inevitably, and especially as mums, stuff's going to happen. The kid's going to get sick. They're going to be up in the night. Your sleep might be interrupted. You might get sick. Work might blow up. And then you're dealing with that and the kids and the house and everything else. We have to have methods to deal with life when life is lifing. I know who says that, life is lifing, but you know what I mean. Mum life is mum lifing. Okay? And there's a couple of tools that I'm going to talk to you about now, which will help you with navigating your weight loss in a way that is going to fit your life and be sustainable, something that you can stick to through the good weeks, but also the more challenging weeks. And the key thing is to never give up, never fall off track. Like, of course, not never fall off track, never quit, never give up, and just keep going, okay? And this is why the plan is so important. And in Reignite, we give you the plan that is going to work. Because sometimes if your plan is not going to work, or you're starving yourself, or you're doing some form of exercise which may feel good, but it's actually not going to help you to get into the shape that you want, then yes, we might be wasting time. So the key thing is to have a plan that is actually specific to your goal and is going to start moving you towards that as soon as you start it. Okay, we give you that in Reignite. Now, when you have a challenging week, and I am a mum myself, I'm 42, I've got 2 young boys, 5 and 7. They are, what can I say? I love them, but there are a lot of times they're very active and, they're still very young. So I am living that life and I totally get it. And that's why everything in Reignite is set up to help busy mums and meet you where you're at and help you navigate the highs and the lows. So the first one that I want to talk to you about is what I call the dip. Okay, so when you start a new program, maybe you're 2 weeks in, 3 weeks in. When you start it, you're like all guns blazing, it feels new. You're like, yes, you start to feel good straight away as long as you've got the right plan. You start to feel good straight away. You start losing weight straight away. You're like, everything fits better. I have more energy. I feel less sluggish. I can get up in the morning. Like, as long as you've got the right plan, you should feel that in week 1, day 1, okay? We do in Reignite. And then, 2 or 3 weeks in, for some people maybe it's a bit later, 5, 6 weeks, the newness starts to kind of wear off a little bit. Or, you may have a challenging week within that time. Whatever happens, we are never going to feel all guns blazing all of the time. And this is where a lot of people get stuck as well. They're like, I need to feel motivated all of the time to do everything. No, you need to build habits that you carry on going even when you're not feeling motivated, okay? And that's going to look different each week, but we cannot rely on motivation. We have to have habits that are keeping us going. But anyway, you're going to have a week where you're like, oh, hey, I don't feel really like doing my workout, or I want to eat a bit more of that, but I know I shouldn't because it's going to take my calories up. I call this the dip, okay? It is perfectly normal. And to understand that your mind is going to do stuff like this ahead of time is gold. And this is why a lot of these challenges, like 6-week shreds, they give you a plan, but it's not tailored to your life. And also it doesn't help you with the mental side of things, which weight loss really is a mental game. And you need to have some mindset shifts to help you through. And this is one of the things we're also really big on Reignite, is the mindset side of things. So when you go through the dip, knowing about it ahead of time, and I will tell my clients, look, I don't want to preempt this, but you will feel at some point that it's harder, And a lot of people will give up then because they're like, oh, my motivation's gone. I don't want it enough. What is the point? And so many people just stop there. They're like 3-4 weeks in, stop. Okay. We actually coach you through the dip. And one of the biggest tools, this is the other tool I'm going to talk to you about, is we use range targets. It's a scale. Okay. And we use the scale to navigate through the dip, and then you will inevitably come out the other side, feel better, get your motivation back, although we cannot rely on motivation, and then you're sailing again. Okay, this is a normal, natural part of a weight loss program, but it's also a normal part of life. I like to look at my weight loss, not my weight loss, but I like to look at my everything in a year, on a year basis, and I'm looking like, okay, Christmas, I'm probably going to put some weight on, and then I'll come out of that and I'll feel a bit like, how do I get through that? Life is about ups and downs and moments of motivation and moments of not motivations. We need to build systems and habits and behaviors that we know we can dial up or down, depending on where we want to be. And so using range targets, or a scale, as I like to call it, in the dip helps us to get through the dip and out the other side so we can keep cracking on, because so many people just give up because they think, oh, what's the point? I've ruined everything. Whereas no, you will always be moving forward. Even if you're doing like 10% of the things that you need to do, like obviously I would want you to do more than 10%, but for some of my clients in 1 week, maybe that's all they can give. And you know what? 10% is better than nothing, okay? You need to be honest with yourself with all these tools. That's why having a coach to support you and guide you through is like gold. But with the scale, what we're looking at is week to week, what are our box ticking? So maybe you've got a step count goal, you've got a food framework that I give you because we don't track calories. I give you like a food framework and teach you how to eat. Then maybe you've got 2 workouts a week, 3 workouts a week, okay? And then maybe we're doing some other stuff on the side, like some journaling, or some meditation, something like that. So you've got your box ticking. That's to bring down stress, by the way, for mum life. I won't go into that now. I'm going off on a million tangents. I get so excited. So range targets. You've got your boxes that you need to tick off each week. Some weeks, when everything is going well, or the kids are in school or whatever, you get to work, everything's kind of working as it should. That is the top end of the scale, okay? So you are moving more towards 100%, like carrying out things 100%, knowing that actually we don't need 100% every single week in order to get results. As I spoke about, it's this range. So good weeks, we can go towards 100%. And then when you're having a more challenging week, you just scale down. You're like, okay, I can't do 3 workouts a week. Although we do give you tools to help you break up workouts and fit it in, but sometimes it's just not possible. And it's about giving yourself a break, because self-sabotage is one of the biggest blockers to people getting in shape. They think they need to be perfect or it's not going to work. Not true. Okay, you don't need to be towards 100%. So you don't need to be always towards 100%. You don't need to be 100% even. We don't need perfection. Although, of course, if you are towards 100%, your results are going to come quicker. But you can scale back down. Scale down to 70%, 60%, hell, even, as I said, 10%. Obviously, that's going to be very slow progress if you're doing 10% each week. But the key thing with this is you're on a scale. It's a range. You have never ruined anything unless you quit. And one of the biggest things that I love helping people with is just seeing in the scenarios or situations that we go through that you've never ruined everything. There's a way to handle and look at every single thing that happens, even if you think it's bad. Okay, we're always looking at what feedback can we get from things. And really, this is lifestyle. This is a lifestyle. And where so many people go wrong is they try to put their life on hold, or they think, I'll just do my weight loss, in those 6 weeks and then I can go back to how I'm living. It's not going to work like that. If you're a mum and you're in your 40s, perimenopause is on its way. We are role modeling for our kids. You don't have to be the healthiest person and be a saint, but putting yourself first and prioritizing your health is one of the best things you can do for yourself, but also for your family. And to view this as something that you're going to continue doing, whether it's, you get the weight loss result that you want, and then you're eating a bit more food and maybe you're kind of relaxing a little bit on your step count goal or something like that. But then there might be a period of time where you put on a bit of weight and then you do a bit of weight loss again. It's always going to be like that. We always need to be in tune with our body and what's going on. This is how I live my life, okay? And that's actually why I love weight training, because it just keeps things in check a lot more easily. Anyway, I feel like I've gone off on a lot of tangents in this video, but as you can tell, I'm passionate about helping mums get their ideal body, even in their 40s when they've got young kids, they're working, peaking their career, maybe you're looking after elderly parents, and perimenopause is sapping your energy. This is the thing that is going to help you get back to you and also help you in so many other areas of your life. So if you want to know more about Reignite, message me the word Reignite on any platform. On this platform, you can DM me on Instagram at The Reignited Mum. And I look forward to seeing you next week on the next episode.